What's up guys, I'm Editor James. Guess what I brought today? I brought Sonata The Edge 2.5 turbo inline. Alright, so as always, I'm gonna show you the front part. When I first saw this car at Kintex Ilsan, South Korea, I was so impressed. And today, I brought you 2.5 turbo inline Sonata The Edge. Oh my god, guys, this car is just beautiful. Take a look at the front. Isn't it so impressive looking? You know, this seamless horizon, the headlamp is so iconic, so impressive that I can see nothing else but the light itself. And the grille, and the camera, everything that it has in the front is just so beautiful. And like I said, this is a 2.5 turbo. It has a turbine inside, right? So most of the cars is usually covered with the small grills, right? The radiator grills. But take a look at this. It's open. So I think it's somewhat helping the engine cool off because you have no barriers whatsoever. You have a direct input, the cold air from outside. So I think, yes, just looking at the appearance itself, I think they are gorgeous. Even the little things that added on the bumper, it makes the car look so much more aerodynamic and it gives you a little bit more downforce. Again, this seamless horizon headlamp is really iconic. Right now we're filming during the daytime, so I cannot show you the welcoming ceremony, but I will insert a little picture or a little clip so you guys can take a look at it later. So again, N-Line is like Type R of a Honda, right? But in Hyundai, we have an N-Line. Yeah, this is a fun machine, you know? Matte black, glossy black, I think they're very harmonic. So yes, just looking at the appearance, it's very impressive. I wish they can change the emblem a little bit like a Kia has. You know, after Kia has changed their emblem, the car itself looks so much better. I mean, N-Line badge, it looks really nice, and it, but I wish maybe soon, maybe they can change the emblem as well. This is just too little, boring, maybe? Again, looking at the side, I wouldn't say there's a huge change from the previous generation. Again, big fat N-Line badge on the side, and the 2.5 turbo is equipped with a 19-inch, and we have a P0 tires. Personally, I like 5 spokes, 6 spokes, something very nice and clean, not too complicated. But this is a 2.5 liter turbo model stock rims. I think they are very gorgeous. You know what? I'm not really into this type of rims, but Sonata, I'll make exceptional. The harmony between the metallic silver and the matte black and the big fat N logo in the center, it makes the car so much better. I love it. And guess what? Hey, again, it's a Pirelli P0. Hey, really good tires, right? So again, that's for the rims. Did I tell you about the N-Line badge on the side? I love it. I love it. Overall design on the side hasn't changed too much from the previous generation. You know, it's a very nice, very aerodynamic, whoever sees it, oh, it's a very beautiful looking four-door sedan. When I first received this car, right, I wasn't expecting too much. You know why? Because the Sonata I had in my head, EF Sonata, NF Sonata, all those previous generation, they were nice, but then they lacked power, or maybe sometimes the interior, the rear seat was big enough, you know? But then the new Edge, the Edge has everything. It has adopted almost all high-tech stuff that you can imagine. And even in the rear seats, it's really, really spacious. So if you have a family of a 3, 4, it's gonna be perfect. And plus, this is 2.5 turbo, so you're gonna have some fun too. All right, so this is the rear. Take a look. This is the welcoming ceremony. Hi, owner, I'm here. This is how you find me. So yes, this is the welcoming ceremony, what it looks like, but I'm gonna give you a better clip later on at nighttime. But look at the rear. I mean, the rear is as beautiful as the front, you know? I mean, a lot of people say, oh, the rear looks like that car, this car, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Sonata has its own identity. We have many, many rectangle patterns, like, you know, within the tail lamp and even in the center, right? And again, inside, right in the center, we have a big fat Hyundai emblem, and followed by Sonata, the lettering on the bottom, right? Let me tell you about this. I remember as a little boy, I think it was like Sonata 2 or Sonata 3. The car is so old now, right? The car is like 30 years old, right? So sometimes you see it on the street, but then many of them are actually missing the first letter S. So people just usually read it, hey, it's not Sonata, it's Onata. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you, share a little fun story. And again, this is a stock spoiler too, right? I mean, 1.6 model also has a spoiler, but slightly different in design. You see, this is a highly, you know, just slightly like went up right here. But the 1.6 model, I think it's just a flat. And I don't know what these pins do on the top, but I'm pretty sure they probably added it because they have their own reason. I don't know, maybe it helps it become more aerodynamic. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not a rocket scientist, I only review, right? And again, this is what I like the most about 2.5 turbo model. If you look at 1.6, right? We don't have a dual tips. Instead, we have like a one flat, you know, the exhaust tips, right? But here we have a dual muffler tips. So I don't know, it makes the car look faster. You know what I mean? Think about it. If you have a car with many the exhaust tips, doesn't it make it seem like, oh man, I'm ready to run, I'm ready to drive, I'm ready to take off, you know? So I think even these little things right here makes the car even look more gorgeous, make it seem like, oh, I'm a lot faster than normal model, baby. So yes, overall, again, even though this is a high glossy, you know, very shiny black, but on the bottom we have a matte black. So people might say, oh, it is very unmatching. Oh, believe me, they are very well matching, please. So if you actually take a look at it in person, you're gonna love it. Why? Because I'm loving it. This is really, really beautiful. Again, we have a diffuser. Everybody knows what the diffuser do. So I'm pretty sure when you're driving in a high speed, probably just helps a little, become a little more aerodynamic. So again, here, from here to there, right? Again, this is a big, long H, and I think this is what Hyundai has been trying to do along with Genesis, you know? So again, the welcoming ceremony looks really beautiful. It looks even more beautiful at nighttime. So, all right, again, now you wanna open the trunk. Here's a little button. Let me press it. Voila! Look. Very, very big, right? It's very, very big. And on the top, you will see a small levers on each side. So if you pull it, as you can figure out on the picture, the seats, it will recline. You You know what I mean? So if you need to like put something long or something big, that's the time you can probably use this reclining system. I just wanted to show you. I'm not actually going to recline because you have seen that so many times on my videos, but I'm just showing you that you can recline your rear seats. And humongous trunk space. All right, when you want to close the door, boom, push up a button, done. All right, so now I'm in the driver's seat and this is my seating position. The biggest change, the biggest adaptation to the Edge Sonata is that we have a panoramic curved display. Each consists of a 12.3 inches, right? In the center, we have a speedometer, and then also when you are driving on each side, every time you use blinker or side of signal, you can see the cars coming behind you. So right now, the engine is not turned on, so we cannot use it, but I'm gonna show it to you later. And again, even the infotainment, again, is a 12.3 inches across and it's really nice and big. Again, this is the panoramic curved display, so it is slightly curved. And then if you can take a look at it right here, we also have ambient lights. Right in the center, we have all this climate control, you know, all these buttons, but again, it doesn't give you feedback. It just only gives you the sound like that, right? But it doesn't give you the feedback. It only gives you the sound. And in the center, we have a wireless phone charge, and as well as Type-C charging port. And here, if you push it, we have a cigarette jack. So if you're a smoker, maybe you can you know, use this, or maybe you can use this port for charging something different. But again, we do have a many charging ports. So, and another biggest adaptation from the previous model is that we have a column shift. I mean, before the facelift model, we have the button type, but now they have adopted the column shift. So if you want to switch to the reverse mode or the drive mode, to switch to driver mode, you can slightly twist it to the front. Then the gear changes to D mode. Again, if you want to go to reverse, then you can switch it towards U, right? Then you can see the lights switching to R. And even on the cursor right in the center, you will see the letter R, which means that you are ready to reverse. And it also shows in a beautiful screen. Look at the quality of the camera. Isn't it really nice and clear? Yep. And even the steering wheel, you know, it's kind of like a semi D-cut, but it's really comfortable. So yeah, even when I was driving it, man, it was really, I'm gonna have to be God honest with you, this was really comfortable. All right, so let me turn off the engine now. And yeah, in the center we have you know, drive mode. This is a parking assistant, auto hold, and P, I think this is the camera that shows while you're parking. So this, as you saw earlier, this also has a surround view, right? So it is really helpful when you are parking, right? Right in the center, we have two cup holders, and here, yeah, we have a small like space where you can store like this and that. So nothing new here. Now I wanted to take a look at the seats. So this is what kind of amazes me. All right, we do have the bucket seats, but if you're looking at the bucket seat, it's not fully Napa leather. In the center, it is a suede, and right in the center of the seat, we have this M logo right here. So yes, if you are talking about the suede, you wouldn't expect, all right, so since it is made of a suede, maybe this car doesn't have a cooling seat. It has a cooling seat. Even right now, today is a really hot day, so you can see me sweating a little bit, but when you are driving using the air conditioner and the cooling seat, there's a little cold air. The cold air comes out of all these small holes right here. When you are driving, you know, if you're using the cooling seat, right, all this air helps you not to get soaking wet in the back. So this is really amazing. I wasn't expecting the new model to have the cooling, fan seat, but it actually does. And even though this is a semi-bucket seat, that's what kind of amazes me. I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but it does have it, as well as the heating seat. So again, it also has a heated steering wheel, and if you look on the top, we have a huge panoramic sunroof. Yeah, so it's really rather very long, but it doesn't open very much for the safety purposes, but still, I mean, it's really nice and big, so it gives you the openness when you're driving it. Hi. This car, the Edge, also has the speakers, Bose, one of my favorite. I mean, nowadays there are many other brands, but I am a big fan of a Bose. Maybe because I had a good experience even my younger days. Bose speakers, really nice. I'm listening to this Korean girl group music using Bluetooth through my phone. It just gives an excellent sound. I'm really loving it. Again, I'm 5'11", 220 pounds. Well, maybe perhaps I may have lost a little weight because I'm fasting these days, but anyway. Woo! This is not the Sonata I remember. Hey guys, take a look at how much leg space I have. Hey, I'm a very big guy in Korean standard, and look how much leg room, the space I have. Oh my god, this is more than enough. I don't know how comfortable it is when actually someone is driving and just sitting in the back. Like I said, I don't know how comfortable it would be. But as far as I remember, the car itself is not very stiff. Hyundai is known for good suspension and somewhat soft. I mean, I personally prefer a little hard suspension, but Hyundai is rather soft. But I just want you to take a look at how much space I have, especially if you are considering a family sedan. Take a closer look at it. Whew! This is more than I expected. Here we have an armrest, nothing special. 2 cup holders. We have an air vent. You don't have independent climate control, but still you get cold air, hot air, or whatever. So, and along with it, we have a 2 Type-C charging port. And look, this is not really fancy, but we do have the side screen. This little piece of a cloth makes a huge difference. So I just wanted to show you that. I mean, Genesis has that. It's not fully automatic. They have to do it manually, anyway. So yeah, but even Sonata has it. Man, this is beautiful. Everything else here is a Napa leather, very beautiful. The Bose speakers. All right, now can you take a look at these 3 buttons right here? So if you look, we have 3 buttons. So this is kind of like a comfort mode, right? That seat will give you like a comfort, the sitting position. And as you can see here, the second button, you can recline back and forth, and this is just moving back and back and forth. So even from the back, or even when you are driving, for example, your girlfriend or your wife is sleeping, then maybe you can make her, or you can give her a more comfortable position so she can rest while being in the car. All right, now let's pop the hood. Mr. Chung, I'm waiting for your call. All right, so this is what the engine looks like. It looks very new, right? It is new. It is a new 2.5 liter turbo, 290 horsepower with 43 kilograms of force-meter torque. So when you are driving on the street or even on a highway, right, it gives you plenty of power, plenty of comfort, plenty of pleasure. Believe me, I experienced it already. So that's what it looks like. This is 2.5 liter turbo, okay? It has what, 290 horsepower and 43 kilogram force meter of torque, right? So, for example, if you want to push it, you should not have any problem. Just fact that I was thinking that maybe if this was a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, maybe you can feel a little more power. But this is a front wheel drive. I'm not saying that front wheel drive like lacks power or it's not fun, but because I know how it feels to drive all wheel drive or rear wheel drive, I'm thinking that that could have been more fun. But still, 290 horsepower, it gives you plenty of a pleasure. It's just more than what you have. So for example, hey, I need to get out of this exit, but then there are so many traffic, right? There are so many cars, whatever, and I need to cut them in for somehow, then you shouldn't have any problem. By paying a little bit over 35,000 US dollars, and if you can have this much fun, and plus having very, very spacious rear for your entire family, I think this is probably the best option that you can possibly have. Because personally, I'm in favor of a hard type suspension, because that way I feel a bit more safer. Because when you are driving on a high speed, and if your suspension is a little too soft, then I don't know, maybe I'm a chicken, but I feel a little scared. But on the other hand, if you have a stiffer or a harder suspension, then you feel a lot safer, because you know how it is going to bounce, and then you can steer or control your car immediately. For me, at least, it works better. You know what I mean? So I wish, like when you are on a sports mode, I wish your suspension becomes a little bit stiffer, but I don't think this car has that. So unless you are driving like Go Speed Racer every day, I don't think it's gonna be a too much problem. But personally, if the suspension was just a little bit stiffer, then it could have been better in my personal taste. But some people doesn't like it too hard anyway. So I think Hyundai Motors probably have made it into consideration. I mean, it's I guess a proper stiffness. It's not very soft, but of course it's definitely not stiff enough, right? Or it's not soft enough, it's not stiff enough. I think it's just about right. I wasn't really checking the brochure, or I didn't log on to Hyundai Motors to check out like all this specification. But as far as I can tell, even if you are driving at high speed, the brake works really, really greatly. One thing about Hyundai cars back in the days, like at high speed, if you hit the brake, the whole car used to rattle or like shake. You can feel the shaking on your foot. So I'm like, what the hell, you know? But nowadays, I don't know, it's really good. Maybe this could be a 2-piston brake, or maybe one large brake piston. I'm not so sure, but one thing I can tell you is that the brake works really great. I am just accelerating and then, you know, stopping, accelerating, slowing down on purpose, because I just want to see how it is like to accelerate, right? And how it is to stop at such a speed. But brake, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't shake, it doesn't give you squeaking noise. It works really, really great. I want to also tell you another things. You know, Hyundai has this HDA function and LKA function, right? Let's just say you set your speed at 100 kilometers per hour or 55 miles per hour, but then the car gets, you know, in front of you all of a sudden, or the car ahead of you slows down at 80 kilometers or 60 kilometers. I mean, my BMW, it will just collide into it. It will boom, just hit the car in front of you. But like I said, this car has gotten really smart. So if your car ahead of you slows down, your car will also slow you down. And as for the LKA, lane keeping assistance, right? This is so smart that I felt a little uncomfortable actually activating it, because the car is reading the lines on, you know, on each side, and the car is trying to maintain or stay right in the center precisely. So sometimes when I need to switch a lane, I can feel that the steering wheel is refusing me to steer to the right or steer to the left. So it's a very precise. So if you're driving on a highway, it's actually safer. But if you're driving in a city road where you have to constantly switch, back and forth, then you might feel a little uncomfortable. I'm not the dealer, I'm not selling the car, I get no money or whatever. I'm just getting the car from Mr. Chung, and then he gives me an opportunity to review the car. But just because he gives me an opportunity to review the car, I'm not gonna, kiss the ass, you know what I mean? I gotta be honest with my subscribers, and then yeah, I'm not good at lying anyway. So if I sum it up, personally, I wish the suspension was a little bit more or a little bit stiffer if you're driving in a sports mode, but that's okay if you are using it as a daily. So as a daily driver, you should not have any problem. Brake works really, really great. Highway driving assistant makes sure driving a lot more fun, a lot safer. LKA, it also makes sure that your car stays within the lane. So safe driving first. But if you want to just feel the car itself, just deactivate everything. Yeah, I'm really impressed about the brake too. Let me hit the brake right now. Oh yeah, it's nice and nice. Yeah, you can trust this car at least on the brake. So don't worry about it too much. It's really nice. Today, I got a chance to drive the Edge Sonata. So if you're especially looking for a fun family sedan, you might want to consider the new Edge. Please try to test drive it yourself at your local dealer. You're gonna love it. This is really, really fun, really, really powerful, and it gives you plenty of a space for your family. Thanks for watching the video. We'll come back with a better review next time. Mr. Chung, call me. Ding ding ding.